my name is Vivienne and welcome to my brand new YouTube channel. But obviously after winning Drag Race, I've been super busy and just haven't found the time. So, now that we're all stuck in the bloody house for months on end, I thought that was the perfect time to get some equipment, get on the YouTube and hopefully bring you some lovely, nice content to maybe put a smile on your face and keep you sane, because I know for a fact this is what I need to do to keep me sane. So, my first video is a little request of a gorgeous girl on Twitter, and she has asked me to do my Donald Trump makeup. Now, this is a super quick, easy makeup. It's not like super technical or anything like that. It's actually pretty much really easy. So easy for me, easy for you guys to watch, and hopefully have some fun watching it. So together we're gonna make this great. Welcome to my YouTube. Let's make YouTube great again. Thank you. Okay, so let's get started. Now, first of all, usually when I start my face, I will use all sorts of primers, moisturizers and everything else just to get a really gorgeous, flawless face. However, for Donald Trump, I don't suppose he's got the best skin in the world. So, and we want to make ourselves look really stupid and ugly and a horrible man. So we're not going to do any priming of the skin. We're going to go straight in with foundation. We're going to start with Kryolan TV stick, and this is in 5W, so this is a bit darker than my actual skin tone. So we're just going to go all over the face. We're just going to whack it on and just down the neck slightly. That will blend out. When I do Trump as well, I always like to have, you know, like a really big tied line, because I feel like when he puts his makeup on, because he does wear makeup, right? That's why he's like bright orange. So I like to have that tied line to make him look a bit more stupid. Now, always when I blend out my foundation, I like to use, instead of just blending out because this is quite a thick foundation, and if it's not been warmed up, it's quite hard to blend. So to make it easier on the skin, I always like to use a setting spray to help blend it out, to moisten it up. So I'm going to be using, I always change between setting sprays. Sometimes I'll use the Urban Decay All-Nighter, sometimes I'll use MAC Fix Plus. So I'm going to use Fix Plus today. So all over the face, get it nice and moist, and just blend it out. I'm using a big fluffy Morphe brush to blend this out. Slightly onto the ears because it is a dark foundation. And again, don't worry about not blending this neck completely, because I like to make him look a bit more stupid than he already is, if that is possible. And there we go, foundation is done. However, this is not Donald Trump's skin tone, and Donald Trump is a big orange monster, but I like to make him look even more orange than he already is. So I'm going to be using Louise's eyeshadow primer, which has still got the black tape on from Drag Race. So this is called Basic Brights. And it's by Louise. So I'm going to use this just on an old triangle wedge sponge. Now this is bright orange from me doing Trump the other day. So I'm just going to load it on to the sponge, and I'm just going to pull it through the foundation. So this is going to mix with the foundation and give us a perfect orange Trump tone. And again, just with the foundation, I like to stop the orange just at the jawline, so you get that really orange face and then not as orange neck. I think it looks quite fun on camera, because we are parodying Trump. This isn't an actual, a recreation of Donald Trump. This is a parody for when I do my impressions and when I do my Trump stuff. Just gonna keep loading that on. How am I looking? Orange? Now, good thing about this as well, I can build up the colour, so if I want to look super orange one day, I can just keep going with it, and I will get there. We're going for full on Chiso. I want to be a bit more orange just around here. Now, sometimes I've got to get into Trump in like 10 minutes. I think at DragCon UK, I have 10 minutes to get into Trump. So I've kind of found a way without doing it. When I first started doing it, I, you know, fully contoured with different foundation colours and darker contour creams. Now I've had to come up with a way that I can just throw it on really quick. So I'm not going to be doing any contouring with any creams. I'm going to literally set this as orange as I can, and then we're going to go straight in with powders. Just smashing up the studio. Okay, just before I set this, we need to do the iconic, well, I say iconic, I hate using that way in describing Trump, but I suppose it is iconic, his white ring eyes. So I'm going to be using the Give Face Cream Palette. This is from Give Face Cosmetics. I'll link everything in the description below. And I'm going to be using the off-white. It's not quite white, it's just off-white. And we're just going to whack this all over the lid, just below the brow, under the eye. And we're going to make it, oh, it's almost as if, you know, he's been on sunbeds and left the goggles on. They're a bit too long. And we're not going to blend it out completely. We don't want a really harsh line, but we still want to see, you know, that kind of oval shape. And we want the middle of the lid to be the brightest part. So it's kind of blending out like that. I'm happy with that. You'll see me pulling Trump faces as well in the mirror, because I think that's how I always kind of get to where I want to be with Trump. So I'll pull faces like this. Okay, I'm happy with that. It looks ridiculous, and Trump is ridiculous, so we're getting somewhere. Now I'm going to set this, and I always use, I've used this for 12 years, I use Johnson's baby powder. And do you know why? Because it's 99 pence, it's cheap, and it works. Now sometimes in the lighting, so it may not look as orange as it does in real life on camera, but trust me, I look ridiculous. Now sometimes when I set that white cream, I kind of lose the brightness of it. So if that has happened, you can just, I don't know why I'm explaining this, like everyone's going to be sat at home doing Trump face. But hey, if you're going as Trump for Halloween one day, here's your answer. So I'm just going to brighten up the white on the eyes. On and around the eyes, I should say. There we go. Now that is all the foundation done, so I'm going to be going straight in with powders. I'm going to be using a really fine brush like this, and I'm just going to be using this contour palette, which is just, you know, your average contour palette, and we're basically going to be going into all the lines across the face. We're going to be aging the face, basically making myself look old and an absolute terror. So here we go. So the first lines we always like to do are on the eye. This is going to be a lighter contour shade. I like to scrumple up the face to see where the natural lines come. I know, it's horrible that natural lines are actually there. And then once we've done these lines, we're going to go in with a darker shade and make those lines really, really deep. So what we're doing, we're just setting it into the creases and then just blending it out. The great thing about this look is there is no kind of like precision. It's really just whacking it on. The fact that I find it quite easy to do Trump face is quite scary. So hopefully I don't look too much like him, you know, out of makeup. So yeah, hopefully not. The next lines that I'm going to make a bit darker are my smile lines. So I like to take this from here and just bring them right the way down to about there. Again, I'm still using the lighter shade, and we're going to darken all these soon enough. We're just going to go under the cheekbones. Trump kind of has these triangles in his face, you know, where he's really aged and sagged. Shade. This is the part that I think probably makes me look most like Trump. This is just bringing the lips and sagging them down. And I go right the way up to really exaggerate the corners of the lips. Now again, this is a comedy transformation, so this isn't supposed to be like a super representation of what Trump looks like. But I think it's pretty close. And the same on this, so you can see once I do that with my mouth. Thank you. You know, it really pulls the mouth down and gives it that Trump look. I kind of like to make the lips look like he's been, you know, drinking a hot chocolate or something. I think they look really creepy and just disgusting. Now my lips are a bit bigger than Trump's, so I do apologise. So just before I go in and darken all the contours, I'm just going to do the nose. Now Trump has a really quite a wide nose, so I'm going to make my nose. Cast yourself back to the Queen challenge on the first episode of the Drag Race, when Michelle asked if that was my real nose. This is basically how I did it. So you just, basically, if I'm making my nose look skinny, I contour right in the centre. If I'm making it look wide, you just reverse it and just widen it. So it's pretty simple really. Okay, now I'm going to be going in and darkening up those contour lines. So I'm going to be using Stacey Marie Carnival XL Pro palette, which is probably my go-to palette. I use this for most of all my looks. So I'm going to be using the shade Vex. So I'm going to pop it really lightly with that same brush because this is quite a dark shade. And we're just going to go right in where we've already kind of cut out and made those wrinkles. We're going to pop some in the cheeks as well. And you want to kind of try and keep this darker shade right in the centre of the lighter shade. You can do the lips. I'm pretty much happy with what we've got so far, so I'm just going to go in with a contour brush and a sleek medium contour powder. And I'm just going to show you how I get that kind of, I make my jawline look a bit fatter. So again, it kind of goes in with what we did with the nose. So if I was wanting to make my jawline look a lot more softer and feminine, I would have taken my contour this way. But again, we just reverse it, and I'm taking the contour from about here. I'm just trying to give myself a more jowly appearance when I'm on camera. I'm going to do the same on this side. And again with the chin, I'm going to bring it a lot wider. Kind of give myself a jowl here. Now again, just to give the face a bit more depth, I'm just going to use a shade called Fox in the Stacey Marie Carnival palette by Bperfect, this is a really nice cool brown, and I'm just going to kind of dot on, I'm just going to blend that bit out first. I'm just going to dot on some kind of agey spots kind of thing. These want to be quite really pale. These might not pick up on camera, but hopefully they do. And I'm just going to rub them in with my finger a little bit. This is just going to like make the skin look a bit more aged and disgusting. Alright, for the eyebrows, I'm just going to use a angled brush, just like this. This is from Boots. I'm just going to go in with a light brown eyeshadow, and then just for the purposes of camera, I always go in with a white because he has got blonde eyebrows. Obviously his eyebrows aren't super white, but again, this is a comedy representation of Trump. This is not supposed to look exact. So it all comes together, you know, with the face and the voice and everything like that. So we'll go in and do the eyebrows. I'm going to use, I think, I'm going to see if this is dark enough, the same colour that we just used for those age spots, and yes it is, so perfect. And again, these can be thrown on these eyebrows. He doesn't have perfectly groomed eyebrows, I don't think he's got perfectly groomed anything, certainly not that hair. So we're going to go in and just whack these brows on. You know, there's not really an arch to them. I'm trying to ignore the arch of my natural brow, but I kind of made a little bit of an arch, but just ignore that. Same on the other side, just whack those on. I wish I could do my actual drag face this quick. Alright, there we go. So I'm going to throw some white through these brows as well. I'm going to go back to the Give Face cream palette. I'm going to use a tiny little concealer / lip brush. And I'm going to dip it into the same white we used to around the eyes. And I'm just going to pull some white strokes through the brows. Again, this is just going to give the eyebrows depth. Alright everybody, that is the makeup done. I'm going to go and get my hair and costume on off camera, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. My first YouTube video, I really enjoyed it, and I'm just hoping that you're all keeping safe, and I'm hoping that this brought you a little smile in quarantine. So, final touch I suppose. See you in a bit! So people, there you have it. That's how I turned from the Vivienne to Donald J. Trump. Keep safe in these horrible times. And remember, China. That's where it came from. China.